Today I'm going to be talking about both sides of my family history, starting from the third generation on my dad's side of the family, the Booker family. My third great grandfather was Peter Booker, and he was born on November 1853 in Louisiana. He moved to Kirbyville, Jasper, Texas, and married my third great grandmother, Angeline McCarter. Angeline McCarter was born in 1858 in Magnolia Springs, Jasper, Texas. She and my third great grandfather went out to have 3 kids, one of them being my second great grandfather, Horace Booker, who was born in 1881. Horace Booker was a farmer, and he ended up marrying my second great grandma, Florence Barlow. She was born in 1883. They ended up having my great grandfather, Simpson Booker, in 1919 in Jasper, Texas. He was a preacher before he passed. He married my great grandmother, Julia Jones Booker, and they ended up having 10 kids, one of their kids being my grandfather, Clinton Booker. My grandfather was born in 1942 in Buna, Jasper, Texas. He ended up getting drafted into the Vietnam War and ended up getting honorably discharged because he got injured while serving. He went on to marry my grandma, Doris Jenkins Booker. My grandma, Doris Jenkins Booker, was born in 1941 in Orange County, Texas. Her occupation was a school English teacher. Her and my grandpa, Clinton Booker, got married on June the 5th, 1965. Years later, my dad was born in April 13th, 1975. My mom's side of the family is where I mainly get my Creole roots from. All of my great-grandparents I'm going to be talking about all was born and raised in Opelousas, Louisiana. My second great-grandpa, Hilary May, he was born in 1902, and his wife, Rose May, was born in 1909. Hilary May was a farmer, while Rose May was an unpaid family worker laborer. In the year 1927, my granny, Elsa May, was born in Opelousas, Louisiana. She was actually my great-grandmother, but everybody in the family just called her Granny. My grandma's dad, Frank Harrison, my great-grandpa, was born in 1926 in Louisiana. His dad, my second great-grandpa, was Jenkins Harrison, and his mom, my second great-grandma, was Pearl Eaglin Harrison. Frank Harrison's occupation was a contractor helper. Him and my granny, Elsa May, got married, and that's how the Harrison family came to be. They had 8 kids, with it being 5 girls and 3 boys, one of them being my grandma, Gloria Lynn Harrison, or what I usually call her, Mimo. She was born in Beaumont, Texas in 1962, with her parents being my great-grandpa, Frank Harrison, and my granny, Elsa May Harrison. My grandpa on my mom's side of the family, Calvin Pete II, was born in 1957 in Beaumont, Texas. Papa Calvin and my grandma had my mom on September 19, 1979. That's basically both sides of my family, from the Creole side on my mom's side to the country and little bit of Creole side on my dad's side of the family.
Yeah. Well, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I grew up, we was poor, but we didn't know we was poor because my daddy, he believed in hard work, and he worked at a sawmill in a little town called Bessemer, Buna, where I was born. Population 450 people, and you families might live in the house with another family because they didn't have enough houses to go around for everybody individually. So the sawmill town of Besame, it burnt in 1952. I was 9 years old when the sawmill burnt. That's where my daddy worked, and he was building a house in Buna, and they got it ready by 1952, because once the sawmill burnt, we moved to Buna, and we had 5 acres of land, and I was 11 years old. So my job was to assist my daddy, my oldest brother, and I any way we could in the field. And he did the plowing, we picked the peas, we cut the grass, what they call hoeing the grass, until I was old enough to plow the mule myself. The mule name was Sam. And we had a lot of chickens. My dad would order chickens from companies. He would get 100 at a time, what they call small baby chicken. We call them biddies. And we would raise them when they get here. When they would come in boxes, whenever they got here, it might be about 4 or 5 of them that's dead. So we all the one that was alive, we've had places to put them, and so they could grow, so we could have some meat on the table. And what we did, when they got large enough, we saved so many hens to lay the eggs. We had 2 milk cows, and my daddy would butcher 2 hogs every winter. And that was, and the field food that we grew in the fields, we had that out, as carryover to help us. And we was poor, but we didn't know we was poor, because we had plenty love and plenty food, but money was tight.
From my research, I've learned that my third great-grandfather on my dad's side of the family, Peter Booker, he was born into slavery in 1853. He didn't know how to read or write, and at that time, it was illegal for black people to know how to read. And if you were black and you were caught with a book, you would be punished, or from what I've heard from interviewing my family members.